Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. A brand new, fresh week. To make of it what you will. It's exciting, isn't it? We are 8 days away from the election. That's another thing.
The last full week before the election.
Wow, jeez. We're getting to the. I mean, that's really the pivot point of our nation.
We're here,
isn't it? The pivot point of our future is a week from tomorrow. A little nerve-wracking, frankly. But over the weekend, some really fantastic football once again. Okay. I got to soak this in because it doesn't happen every year, where they're unbeaten,
sure.
Where BYU is unbeaten. I don't know if that has sunk into you yet. 8-0.
8-0.
Ranked 9th in the country now.
Okay.
And virtually every prognosticator is seeing them in the college football playoffs. That would be nice. Now, Nebraska probably got eliminated for any consideration in the playoff situation, but they really did themselves proud, I think, against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Were you pleased with their effort?
I sure was.
Yeah. I mean, after last week against Indiana,
like 100-0.
Yeah. It was 21-17, and Nebraska was in the lead in the second half, right?
10 minutes left.
Jeez.
Well, 6 minutes left, technically. Yeah.
That kind of hurts. Kind of hurts.
Like I said, it was unexpected, and honestly, we have a field goal kicker. Apparently, all of a sudden, he can't make an extra point, but he can make a 54-yarder.
Wow.
I'll take it.
It's weird when that happens, but you'll take it.
But I was happy.
Meanwhile, Jeffy's team, Missouri, destroyed by Alabama, 34-0. Ouch. That's got to hurt. And then NFL action yesterday. Packers won again. Your Falcons won. It's a pretty good weekend.
They tried to Falcon it,
Yeah. Did they? They tried to give it up?
Well, They missed a field goal, and Buccaneers were down 5, and Buccaneers tried a Hail Mary that was caught, but it was out of the end zone, thankfully.
Oh, wow, really?
But, boy, we have a Hail Mary we have to dissect coming up in overtime today.
Okay.
That was successful.
Ooh.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun weekend for football, for sure. Mm-hmm.
It's been a fun autumn for football. It's really been awesome. It just takes a little bit of the edge off of real life. You build it up all week where you beat you down.
Don't you dare try to enjoy yourself when there's serious things happening in the world, Pat.
I know that's wrong, isn't it? That's wrong. Mm-hmm. And yet I'm still enjoying myself, even though there's horror and terror everywhere. We were trying to do something about it here at the Blaze Studios. We had the MercuryOne Gala, and that's where we raise the money to keep that charity going.
Yeah.
That's where all the administration fees come from and all of that, so that you're not contributing to that during the course of a catastrophe. All of your money, 100% of your donation, goes to where it needs to go. In this case, the ongoing hurricane and storm cleanup in the southeast. And, I mean, we're still working on, obviously, Lahaina, the Hawaiian situation that was just burned to a crisp. It's been over a year now, almost a year and a half. But the efforts still go on there.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday night they played the videos from Lahaina, from the devastation in North Carolina. Hurricanes just are constantly happening.
Yep.
The rescuing of innocents from the Middle East at the hands of ISIS.
Yep.
I mean, there is stuff everywhere that needs our attention in this world.
Yeah. And that's what the MercuryOne Gala is all about. So we got some shots from what happened if you couldn't attend.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what that looked like.
Let's see. So that's
right down our corridor there and right outside our door.
It's a good crowd. It was a full house Saturday night.
Yeah, it was fun. Here's Keith and Chris hanging out together.
Hey, we dressed
up. That's sweet.
We wore.
Isn't that sweet?
Nice outfits.
Cleaned up very nicely.
Ish. Yeah.
Ish.
Okay, I don't know what this salad's about, but this was
it was weird.
It was a challenge.
It was a tower of salad.
It was a salad tower. Yeah. Hey, look at that. I mean, that is Anyway, it was very yummy, but
had the glass case on it to start with, like it was pheasant under glass or something. It was lettuce under glass, which was kind of
in fact, that's our next picture of Jeffy trying to figure out what is happening.
Oh, what do I do? I'm supposed to eat the glass.
Look at him wearing a jacket too. That's
yeah,
good.
how about that?
Look at that?
How about that?
And then, Reed Timmer was here with his Dominator that has
thing
been through hell and back.
Is cool.
It's the third version of that. Is that right?
He uses that for tornadoes, right?
Yeah. That's what he goes and storm chases with. And I passed him in the hallway. Cool. Super nice guy. But yeah, it was a cool event.
Very cool. And thanks for coming. Thanks for donating.
Thanks for Kexi cookies. I already ate my peanut butter cookie from my.
Good. All right.
They were given away.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah. Happy to do it. Also, speaking of these disasters and the cleanup afterward, did you read about the West Virginia coal miners who literally moved a mountain of crap and built a road in 3 days so that residents in North Carolina can re-access their homes?
I didn't hear this.
They haven't been able to go back home for a month because some of these places are just completely shut off and cut off from civilization. So these blue-collar workers got together and at a breakneck speed on their own, without permission from the government.
Thank you.
Went ahead and just did it. And they moved this stuff and built this road in 3 days.
God.
Incredible. The locals have lovingly dubbed them the West Virginia Boys. And so now they built a stretch between Bat Cave and Chimney Rock, which was washed away by Helene. So the residents who left a month ago will now be able to return home for the first time, either today, tomorrow, or the next day. But that's months before anybody thought they'd be able to, because these guys did it in 3 days. Incredible.
I mean, that's America right there.
That is exactly what America is all about. Apparently, officials from FEMA and the North Carolina Department of Transportation and the local sheriff's office all visited the site, but they came in and saw what these guys were doing, and so they just turned a blind eye to it. To their credit, because it's illegally being done, but they didn't hassle them for doing it. They allowed it, which is pretty awesome.
That is.
Pretty awesome, because FEMA reps came in and said, yeah, we can't, I mean, we'll have our engineers come look at it. The Army Corps of Engineers will come in, and they'll take a look at it, but right now there's nothing we can do. Yeah. So like 3 governmental organizations came in and saw this area and said, yeah, we'll work on it. We'll look into it, but there's not much we can do right now.
And can you imagine if the Biden-Harris FEMA came in there and said, yeah, we're going to have you stop fixing this road.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, let's have a conversation about that.
And would that have surprised anybody?
No, not at all.
I'm surprised they turned a blind eye to it. I am really grateful and thankful. And so hats off to FEMA for not screwing this up.
Yeah, all we need you to do is to leave us alone.
Right. Because you can see they could have said, it's unsafe for you to be doing this. We can't sanction this work because we don't know the quality it's going to be afterwards, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, they could have gone into a whole bunch of bureaucratic red tape.
Yeah.
And instead they didn't.
Go pass out food. We'll take care of the road.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened. So these guys came in and said, yeah, we can do this.
Nice.
And they said, well, how many months will it take? We'll have it done in 3 days. 3 days. And they did. I mean,
and like you said, I don't mind if they want to come in after the fact and just make sure that it's not going to be susceptible to a rock slide or something.
Right.
Because of the way it was built. But you know what? For now, just let us build this, and then you can come back. Yeah, that's good.
It's awesome. Yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers came in, took a look, said they'd send some surveyors and engineers. Same thing that the Department of Transportation said. And then one of the residents said, I told them you might as well not waste your time because the West Virginia guys are going to have this road built before you finish your paperwork. And they did. And they did. So it's really miraculous. And So thank you to these incredible Americans who came in and did this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of hassle that they could have just said, man, it's not my problem. FEMA will take care of it. The Army Corps of Engineers will take care of it. Nope. They came in and got the job done and did it for free. I mean, they were all volunteers. Nobody paid them to do this. They just did it because they're great Americans and they cared about their fellow citizens. Really cool. Just an awesome story that you like to be able to start the day with. On Friday, the Donald Trump sit-down on Joe Rogan's podcast took place. That's up to at least as
How many?
Early as last night.
Yeah.
At I think 11 o'clock. It was 31 million.
Oh my gosh! I knew it was 24
views.
million in the first 24 hours. I didn't know we were up to 31.
31 million, and it's probably more than that now.
Incredible!
Isn't that something?
That is something else, man.
His biggest video ever from Rogan was 69 million, and that was the Elon Musk pot smoking video. But that happened in 2018, so we're already halfway there in a couple days. So pretty amazing. But Trump and Rogan discussed young people.
You know, I'm on TikTok now.
Congratulations.
And I've done really well. No, but you know the crazy, have you seen the numbers? Billions of hits. It's crazy.
I'm sure. TikTok's a wild application.
And I've gone up 30 points. A Republican is always down 30 with young people. I'm plus 30. And I'm on TikTok.
I think
young
people are rejecting a lot of this woke bull. Young people are tired of being yelled at and scolded. They're tired of these people that they think are mentally ill telling them what the moral standards of society should be today. And people are upset.
There's a big difference now, but even in just a couple of years, I was shaking hands with people. They're young people.
The rebels are Republicans now.
Yep.
They're like, you want to be a rebel? You want to be punk rock? You want to buck the system? You're a conservative now. That's how crazy. And then the liberals are now pro silencing criticism. They're pro censorship online. They're talking about regulating free speech and they're regulating the First Amendment. It's bananas to watch.
Joe, they come after their political opponent.
Well,
I got more guys. I always say, I kid, but I'm not kidding. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the meanest of them all. He'd kill you in 2 seconds if he didn't like you, right? I've been under investigation more than Alphonse Capone, only because it's political opponent stuff. And I've won. Yep. I won the big case in Florida. I'm winning the other stuff. You win. But you know what they did? They did something that's only done in third world countries. They came after their political opponent.
Yes.
I could have put Crooked Hillary in jail.
Well, not only that, but they're weaponizing it by saying that that's what you're going to do once you get in office.
Isn't it
great? By ignoring what they're doing right now. It's crazy.
I heard it. Somebody was defending me today. They said, no, they say that's what you're doing to him. They're going, he's going to put us in jail. He's going to invest.
That's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. I love it. I love it. Is that a true stat that he's up by 30 with young people? What, 18 to 24, 18, 34? What is the...
Let's see.
I have not seen that, if that's...
I know it's not bad
amazing.
at all, but I don't know what number. I'd have to find this up.
They also discussed energy.
But here's the other thing. We don't have... Well, we do, actually. It's being held. We have certain areas where we have great raw earth material, and we're not allowed to use it because of the environment. And we have areas in California that have incredible raw earth, and they're not allowing, and I'm going to open it up. I'm going to let them use it.
But how do you do that?
China.
How do you do that and protect the environment?
Because the environment's going to be protected. You can do it. You can make a lake out of it. Okay, we'll put back a lake. I mean, something nice about lakes. You can do things magnificently.
You just have to do it carefully and responsibly.
Absolutely, you have to do it carefully. But the problem, China has all of those areas, most of those areas. And yet, when they say go electric with the cars, China is going to be the one that gives us the cars. All of those guys in Detroit are going to be out of business. You're going to make your electric cars over there. We have a thing called gasoline. And we have more oil and gas under our feet than any other nation. I had... in Alaska, there's a find. It's called Anwar. I got it approved. Reagan couldn't get it. Nobody could get it. I got it all done. It was amazing. They were getting ready to start drilling. The equivalent, they think, of Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest finds in the world. It was all set to go. And Biden comes in, one of his first orders were, we're not going to use it. It would have been so good we could have supplied all of Asia with oil and gas.
What was the negative?
And you talk about money.
Right.
The negative was politically they didn't think it was good for them. That's all.
That's all it was. So you don't think that it's environmentally dangerous?
Taking it from way down deep in the earth.
Yeah. And there's nothing, they keep throwing out, oh, you're gonna destroy the Alaskan wilderness. Have you ever seen the Anwar Reserve? It is not pristine. It is not, I guess you could call it pristine. It's not beautiful. It's just a wasteland.
No.
It's not a mountainous, beautiful, wooded area.
It's like the moon.
Yeah. Yes. That's kind of what it looks like, except with snow. If the moon had snow, that would be Anwar. But it's so typical of the left.
I'm this entire 3-hour conversation. Trump probably didn't move the needle much because a lot of the crossover between Rogan's audience and the average Trump voter. But he came across as very likable for 3 hours. I want you to imagine Kamala Harris sitting down with Joe Rogan for 3 hours, being able to pull that off.
Yeah, she can't. And that's why she's not going to. She's not going to try. Unless, have they announced something that I'm not aware of?
You'll see.
Oh, okay. They also discussed tariffs.
Yeah.
Did you just float out the idea of getting rid of income taxes and replacing it with tariffs?
Well, okay.
Were you serious about that?
Yeah, sure. But why not? Because ready? Our country was the richest relatively in the 1880s and 1890s. A president who was assassinated named McKinley. He was the tariff king. He spoke beautifully of tariffs. His language was really beautiful. We will not allow the enemy to come in and take our jobs and take our factories and take our workers and take our families unless they pay a big price. And the big price is tariffs. And he'd speak like that, but he was right. And then around in the early 1900s, they switched over stupidly to, frankly, an income tax. And you know why? Because countries were putting a lot of pressure on America. We don't want to pay tariffs. Please don't. Believe me, they control our politicians.
I tell you, I've heard Donald Trump speak more on the back half of the 1800s in the last few weeks than I think I ever have. So I don't know if he's been reading about. Now he's going to have to start mentioning Grover Cleveland if that's the case. But boy, he's been talking about like McKinley, and he talked about the Lincoln family during this interview. I mean, I tell you, it was just a good interview, And I would love to see tariffs replace income tax.
Yes.
It's immoral.
It would be incredible. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, right.
But it
at
would
least
be incredible.
A presidential candidate, a leading former president, who's talking about just even entertaining that idea.
Yeah.
Please,
it's really something.
Yeah.
They also talked about making America healthy.
First of all, I love this idea of you teaming up with Robert Kennedy.
Right.
And I love this Make America Healthy Again idea because there are chemicals and ingredients in our food that are illegal in other countries because they've been shown to be toxic. There's pesticides and herbicides, and there's a lot of that's been sprayed on our food that really is unnecessary. And there's a lot of health consequences that people are suffering from a lot of these things. And
I brought this chart for you.
Beautiful.
Because I had a feeling you'd be asking me.
Thank you.
Look at this chart. These are healthier countries. Look where the United States is. I'm going to send this to RFK Jr. Look at that.
This is, something along the... I was actually talking to RFK today, and he told me that more than 70% of young men are ineligible for the military because of their health.
I could see it.
That's crazy.
A lot of it's obesity.
So here's the life expectancy versus health expenditure.
Same chart.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
USA.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Jamie's the best.
He's very good.
He's the best.
But look at that. Look where
at
the USA is.
Not good. And that's our food. That's our diet. That's sedentary lifestyle. That's our diet. That's the chemicals we ingest. That's what that is.
But RFK is going to be very, I think he's a great guy.
I
think
love
he's
the
great.
fact that you guys teamed up.
Yeah.
And are you guys
Good combination.
completely committed to have him a part of your administration?
Oh, I am. But the only thing I want to be a little careful about with him is the environmental. Because, he doesn't like oil. I love oil and gas. I think
Just
it's
keep him out of that.
to fire. So I'm going to sort of keep him out of a little. I said, focus on health. Focus.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. But I got to be a little bit careful with the liquid gold,
I understand.
That is awesome. And that's how we all feel. Yes.
Yeah.
Turn him loose on the health stuff.
Right.
Don't include him in the meetings.
Keep him
we're
away from
talking
all climate change stuff.
Right.
Completely away from it.
Make sure he doesn't get access to the energy or the oil meetings at the White House. He doesn't get that calendar.
But really, that's something we don't focus on much is the chemicals in our food, the way our food is grown and processed and distributed. There's some things in there, and like Rogan said, that shouldn't be and that are slowly killing us.
Oh,
you know, and is that what's responsible for all the autism now? When you were a kid, if you're over 40, when you were a child, do you remember autism? I never heard of autism when I was a kid. Now it's like everybody knows a family who's got somebody on the spectrum. Or your own family, or you are on this. I mean, it's so prevalent now. There must be something, and it could be vaccines. I don't know. Maybe it's some of these additives in our food.
One of the most eye-opening conversations about additives in our foods and what has happened to health in America is an interview Tucker Carlson did a couple of months ago with Casey and Callie Means. That is, and they are very close with RFK. So you get Robert Kennedy in the Donald Trump White House really examining the ingredients in our foods that are not allowed in the vast majority of the rest of the world in those countries. I mean, and it's anecdotal, but you always see on social media, people will post pictures of beachgoers in the 60s and 70s, and everybody's thin and in good shape.
Right.
And then you see a picture today, and you're like, okay, what has happened to us? It can't be we're that lazy now.
Yeah.
It's got to be something.
Yeah, it's
deeper
amazing.
than that. Yeah.
It's amazing. They also discussed, this is such a great question from Rogan, about why didn't he release declassify the JFK files the first time around when he said he was going to, and they talked about that.
One of the things that I want to talk to you about is the JFK files. And one of the things that you said was that if they showed you what they showed me, this was your quote, you wouldn't want people to know it either.
So I opened them up partially. I was met from good people. I mean, good people. People that were well-meaning. Mike Pompeo was one of them. He's a good person. They called me. They said, "Sir, would rather have you not." And I did open them. But I was asked by some people not to open them. There's a Martin Luther King file, too, by the way, that they'd like to see. I don't know if you know, but there is that. But JFK in particular. So they called me, a lot of good people called me, people that that you would find reasonable people. And they asked me not to do it. So I said, well, we'll close it for another time. But if I win, I'm going to open them up. I'm just going to open enough time.
Why didn't you open it up the first time?
Because
a
lot of times,
what was the hesitation, though?
Addresses, people that are still living. There are people that are affected. And there could be some national security reason that that I don't have to necessarily know about.
Too bad.
But
Yes,
some
you
very
do.
good,
You're the
talented
president.
People asked me not to do it. I opened it up, and then they said, would it be possible for us to do that a different day?
How much of it did you read into?
I think it's going to be just fine to open it. Let me put it that way. I think it's fine. It's going to be time. It's a cleansing. It's really a cleansing. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it immediately, almost immediately upon entering office.
Well, the thing, when people look at it from the outside and you sort of imagine what could be a reason why they would not release those files, it would be there's people that were implicated in the assassination.
Yeah. Well, when there are living people, you generally tend not to want to do it. When people are still living.
If they're
Living
guilty,
people that
why?
formerly work for the government.
If they're
the
guilty.
government and living people that were somehow involved in it, and you tend not to do that. But it's time to open them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if people are guilty, why? What is the hesitation? Expose them.
Justice is justice,
Let's
right?
get to the truth for a change. Let's find out what the deal is.
I mean, it's the same reason you go after former guard camps in Nazi Germany, right? It's like, I don't care if they're still alive, and that was just a horrible thing.
Right.
You got to hold them accountable.
Yes. Yeah, they need to experience the consequences of their actions. And they've had over 60 years now to not experience any of the consequences. Well, it's definitely time, and he said he would release him this time. I hope he does. Meanwhile, the Harris campaign has also been invited by Joe Rogan.
Sure, see?
And so here's what her camp said about that.
All right.
Can I ask you about Rogan? Was there a Rogan invite to the vice president that was turned down? Is it something you would consider doing, given the size of that audience, and given that a lot of the folks that Trump seems to be targeting might be listening to that?
Well, yeah, I think that the vice president's happy to go anywhere and any place to talk to a broad segment of the country. We talked with Rogan and his team about the podcast. Unfortunately, it isn't going to work out right now because of the scheduling of this period of the campaign.
What in the world?
She's happy to go anywhere, anytime. Unfortunately, it's not going to work.
Easily the biggest megaphone offered to you. I can't. I can't do it. Are you?
Maybe she has time to stop by here. She was just in Texas. Mm-hmm. So could you just stop by for a chat here at the Blaze Studios with Pat Gray Unleashed?
She realizes that
she can't.
Any casual listener to her 3-hour conversation with Joe Rogan who might be thinking about voting for her. That's the thing. Yeah. I think the people that are listening to the Trump Rogan interview, maybe they're either gonna go vote for Rogan, as it's a predominantly male audience, or maybe they're just like, I don't know, maybe I'll vote, maybe I won't. And then they hear that and they're like, oh hell, I gotta go and vote for this guy. But it's going to have the opposite effect for Kamala Harris. If an apathetic voter is listening to that conversation, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've got to go vote for Trump. There's no way this woman can become president. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the way that they are this just shows you everything about Kamala Harris. She cannot handle any kind of scrutiny or real conversation, and definitely no more than 30 seconds at a time.
No, and if she's ever pressed, she just breaks down. It's ugly what happens when her feet are actually held to the fire. She just tries to stick to her talking points. Nope, these are the things that we decided I'm going to say when I'm asked this question, and I'm just going to keep saying them. So you can ask me 30 times if you want. You're going to get the same answer 30 times. If she ever did sit down with Joe Rogan, he might ask her about her stance on wishing people a Merry Christmas. Like this.
Yeah. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
There you go. So he's enjoyed that moment before. I put that in there because it's interesting when I talk to like my daughter and some of her friends, whatever. It's interesting the clips that I hear from them that break through in their social media circles, and that's one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That one has broken through on platforms that you and I would never be on, or any kind of demographic like that. The coconut tree, her sounding like an idiot with that.
Yeah.
There was another one, but it's always clips of her sounding stupid or hypocritical, and I love hearing that information.
Good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So after the sit-down with Rogan, Donald Trump headed to a rally in Michigan, where a stage full of local Muslim leaders endorsed him.
This is awesome. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Michiganders. As the president said, we just had a positive meeting with President Trump. We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war.
Nice. How about that?
That's a big deal, right?
We are supporting
somebody who actually
Donald
supports
Trump
peace.
because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine.
Nice. Good. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up just around the corner.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got some tweets here. The deplorable Mr. Jackwagon tweets, was there any trace of kale in the Tower of Salad?
Oh, God.
No. It would have been inedible, as we all know.
We would have made a scene.
Yeah, it would have been ugly. Lone Wolf 2965, you talk about those West Virginia coal miners rebuilding a road in 3 days like it's a good thing. Do you even know or care about how diverse the road builders were? How many POC, persons of color, and trans-identifying builders were there? Yeah, that's a good point. We
Trans-identifying builders.
Didn't even check on that. We didn't even check.
Shame on us, because we're white, heterosexual men, and we don't care.
DMP 1212, I think Trump is up 30 with young men. Not sure about women.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I think that's right. I think that.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Paco D, yes, I was thinner in the 60s and 70s. Tamara B, make America healthy again. Let's go to McDonald's.
See, that's one of those press releases. You want to make sure that when you send it around the office at the White House, you take RFK off of that.
Yeah, right.
Like when you're going to do something like that.
Yeah. Hoots and Toots 1, they're right about Americans being poisoned. I travel to Costa Rica often, and I swear to you all, the food tastes completely different. Chicken, salad, fruit, etc. It's actually frightening.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, too.
Yeah, I hear that as well. Because they don't have the same preservatives and additives. It makes a difference when you go and buy your produce fresh every day, you know, rather than you've got all these preservatives in it, and so you can keep it in the fridge for 2 weeks. Well, not in Texas, but in some places. You ever buy salad, you know, the pre-packaged salad, and then bring it home, and you open it, and you put it in the fridge, and it's like moldy in an hour? It's the weirdest phenomenon here. It just won't last here.
Oh, you think it's here?
I think it is here. I think it's here. It's worse here anyway.
I will say.
But it may be everywhere. I don't know.
Interesting.
It just does seem to go. It seems to go soggy and brown and icky a lot faster than it should.
I mean, it pains me to say, but since we're talking about, you know, our food and how artificial it tastes, I'm really good at I don't know what it is, but I can just pick out when a food product has a lot of preservatives or whatever. I don't know if it's unique to me or whatever, but like
the chemicals.
You would call them the spidey senses go off, and you're like, and then you read the label and you go, I can taste that. They're doing something to my basic 4, Pat, and it's
your basic 4?
Yeah, it's really.
Oh no!
Like I knew that. It
Are you shunning your basic 4? I haven't seen you use it in a while.
Well, I mean, how many times do you come upstairs and watch me eat breakfast?
Not
every
very
morning?
often.
Yeah,
not very often.
So, but I will say that
my next visit to you while you're eating breakfast upstairs will be my first. So that tells you how often it is.
Exactly. But let's just say this. I mean, I knew that they had some GMO stuff in there for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of overlooked it because, you know what, my spidey senses
GMO in America
didn't
now.
go off. You know, I didn't taste any. I don't know, man. Here lately, it's tasted more and more.
Chemically?
Yeah, chemically is the word. And so to your point, to your question, my latest stash, I have about 5 boxes left of this current stash. I might draw the line after those 5 boxes are empty. But
wow.
I don't know. It's just weird. Something's going on there, and I don't like it.
Weird.
I don't like it.
Why would they mess with a good thing like that?
Because I'm the only person that buys it, and they're like, "Yeah, we need a broader customer base."
That might be it.
So I don't know what I'm going to start doing for cereal, though.
Wow.
I'll take your suggestions at Keith Malinak on Twitter, okay? Be sure to let me know.
Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon's that's our suggestion.
Spoon.
Magic Spoon.
And there it is.
You're not going to find a bunch of preservatives in that. A bunch of garbage that you can't pronounce, right? And no sugar. Very low in carbs.
Remind me of my childhood?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Reminds you of your childhood.
I like it.
Delicious without all the sugar. It's great. All right, we're talking about the Muslims that showed up for Trump at a rally over the weekend.
Yeah.
We need to show you what happened to one Muslim man at a Kamala Harris event last week. Check this out.
Met with Ahmed to unpack the moment when he says he was singled out from a crowd of around 200 people around 3 p.m.
I was actually sitting, answering some emails on my phone. I was not even engaged in any conversation with anyone. A lady came to me and said, "Can you follow me, please?" And when we went to the door, I found 2 police officers waiting for me there and threatening me if I don't leave, they will put me in the back of the police car.
Were you wearing perhaps something that was questionable?
No, and I can show you the suit that I was wearing yesterday. I didn't have any pens, any banners.
Ahmed also shared with me this email, which shows a confirmed invitation to the campaign event.
This is my city. So if that happens to me in my city, in my community, where I should feel safe and inside the safety of the party that I was running, how is that you think will make me feel other than an outcast?
In a statement issued to 7 News Detroit, Harris's campaign spokesperson writes in part, "Our campaign regrets this action and its impact on Dr. Ghanem and the community, and he is welcome at future events. We value our relationship with the Muslim American community and are committed to ensuring all community and political spaces are welcoming and respectful to every American." So where was the disconnect? I spoke to the Secret Service and they confirmed that Ahmed was never deemed a threat to the event, nor were any agents involved.
What was the deal then?
What was the deal?
That's weird. Was he screaming? Was he yelling something? Was there an Allahu Akbar? Was there
checking emails on his phone?
He didn't even have a sign, right? That was disturbing.
Nope.
Why would you single the guy out and just remove him and put him in the back of a police car? What?
So get this.
Weird.
Okay, it gets even weirder. He is he's a Democrat, because he even said, something about his party there. He's a Democrat running for Congress, and they kicked him out.
Weird.
Of a Kamala Harris event.
Okay, that's really bizarre.
And again, we say this ad nauseum because it's true.
Yeah, if this was Trump, if it was a Trump rally, what would be said on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC? All of it. New York Times, The Washington Post. That's all you'd ever be hearing now. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And yet it's not even a blip.
No. Nope.
It's not even a blip.
I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. And this poor guy,
just local news,
all of a sudden just singled out. What is that about? Interesting.
Very, right?
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Also, there doesn't seem to be a lot of joy from Kamala right now or any of her supporters. Keith got some photos from a friend in Georgia.
That's right. Yeah. Put those up there if you would, please. There's a trunk or treat event at a local elementary school. And they thought it was funny to show Donald Trump shot in the head on a stretcher.
Oh, wow.
From a local EMS service there. So that's Hall County, Georgia, a very conservative.
That's all about joy.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Very
that's about joy.
Conservative area of North Georgia. And yet, there we go. That's again.
That's ugly.
If that were, well, whatever.
Yeah. Yes. If it was Trump doing that or Trump supporters doing that to Kamala, come on now. Come on. Kamala got pushed a little bit by Norah O'Donnell, of all people, on CBS News over her continual lies. Just one of them, but there's so many lies that she tells about Trump. But for some reason, Norah O'Donnell took exception to the lie about the 2025 project being from Trump and that's one of his big agenda items.
Okay.
So she got pushed a little bit. Here's what happened.
So you do support restrictions after viability?
I support Roe versus Wade being put back into law by Congress and to restore the fundamental right of women to make decisions about their own body. It is that basic.
But there are restrictions.
Pause it for just a second. This is the only thing she can speak confidently and powerfully about.
Killing
Why?
Kids?
Because it's the only thing she's really convicted about. She demands the ability to kill children, to kill babies.
Yep.
She is all about it, and she's very convicted about it. She believes in it with every fiber of her being, and you can tell because she can speak about it eloquently. So, what a great message for everybody. The one thing she really wants to do is restore your ability to abort babies anytime, anywhere, for any reason. That's what she's all about. All right, let it go.
With Roe versus Wade, there were restrictions after viability.
We would not be debating this if Donald Trump had not hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And what we have seen, as demonstrated last night and every day these last 2 years, is extraordinary harm that has occurred in America, where women have died because of Trump abortion bans,
crap.
where women who have survived rape and gross incest, and no exception for someone whose body has been violated to make a decision about what happens to their body next. We have seen women who are experiencing a miscarriage around a pregnancy they prayed for and being denied health care because doctors are afraid they're going to go to prison, and those women developing
From a
sepsis.
miscarriage?
We have seen extraordinary harm and pain and suffering happen
This is
because
garbage.
of what Donald Trump did in
Absolute
intending
garbage.
and effectuating an overturning of Roe v. Wade. Yes, my first priority is to put back in place those protections
her
and
only
to stop
priority.
this pain and to stop this injustice that is
Such
happening
BS.
around our country.
So then why not say what restrictions you would support as part of that?
I've told you. Let's put back in place Roe v. Wade.
And when you argue that Donald Trump, if elected, would put forward a national abortion ban.
Just read Project 2025.
The former president said that's not true. He would
He
veto.
says everything. Come on, are we really taking his word for it? He said
I
that
love
women
that.
should be
I love
punished.
that.
He has
Oh
been
my
all
gosh.
over the place
I
on
can't,
this.
I can't hear anymore. Are we really taking his word for that? Are we really taking your word for anything? After you flip-flopped on every single issue from 2020 till now? It was 4 years ago, Puddin'. 4 stinking years ago. You flipped on fracking. You flipped on confiscating guns, supposedly. We supposed to take your word for that? Eliminating private health insurance. Now you don't want to do that. Decriminalizing border crossings, federal job guarantees. She has flipped on everything, and we're supposed to take her word that now she feels completely different.
Well, I mean,
on everything.
But you believe her on the McDonald's thing that she worked there, right?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Because we've seen the
No,
picture
I
circulating
don't.
of her in a McDonald's uniform. If we could see.
Oh, well,
no.
show me.
Oh,
Show me the
wait,
proof.
that's right. It was photoshopped over some other woman's body. That's right. I mean, it never ends. So
Did they actually put that out?
One of their surrogates did.
Yes, one of the surrogates.
That they later said, we got so many people with access to our account that
oh my gosh,
mistakes can be made. So basically, the woman on the left there, I'm looking for her name. I have it. I thought I
So
printed
great.
it up here. But anyway, that is the original photo on the left, and that is an actual person. I guess I have
Who
it.
died of cancer or something, and they went to the obituary
really?
page.
Oh man!
And found this picture.
You gotta be kidding me! These people are despicable.
Why would you go to the what?
And you're photoshopping
'Cause they're evil.
Kamala's head on the body of a white woman, I'd like to point out.
That is true also.
A little
right.
racial appropriation or whatever the cool liberal phrase is there. But there
It's
you go.
okay for them, though.
Yeah.
It's okay for them because they're Democrats.
So who's the liar, Kamala?
Wow. Yeah, but are we supposed to take his word for it? No, we're supposed to take your word for everything, despite the fact that you've lied repeatedly about everything. Wow.
Never ends, man.
No, it doesn't. No. Hopefully it will.
Yeah.
Soon.
Tuesday.
Please.
It better.
It has to.
8 days, bro.
It
Y'all
has
don't-
to
8
end.
days.
If that woman wins or is anointed the winner,
I'm in Puerto Rico.
Y'all
I'm telling you.
y'all don't want to put near me. It's
Puerto
gonna-
Rico, the floating
Garbage island.
island of garbage.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah, we got a clip we can play later.
Yeah, we got to
definitely.
play
Confirm
that. We gotta play that stuff. I mean, that was unfortunate, frankly. That comedian who is like a roast.
He's a roaster, yeah. He
comedian.
writes roasts.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what they're going to use to say, see, it's a Nazi rally. There he is making fun of minorities. There he is disparaging Hispanics, Latinos, black people, and so they've got all that ammunition now to use. And it's unfortunate. I mean, do we have the Hillary thing where she's talking about that get together?
I
think we had it Friday.
From last week?
Yeah. Where they were...
Clip 20?
It was essentially just because they're doing a rally at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah, but Tim Walz got on board with that message as well.
Unreal.
Yeah, and by the way, so people are calling it a Nazi rally. I would like to point out that Pat Head, also Keith, sent me a note this morning. It's actually the Not-Z rally, NOTXI. So it's a rally, but not for the president of China.
Okay. Nice.
Wonk, wonk.
Okay, but this is Hillary from last week.
Clip 20.
Right before the rally happened.
And one other thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin, is Trump actually reenacting
He's not reenacting.
Madison Square Garden rally in 1939. I write about this in my book. President Franklin Roosevelt was appalled.
Pause it.
That
you mean the book that sold like 4 copies? That book?
Yes, that book.
Is it that one?
Yes, that book.
Oh, okay. Because only 4 people knew about.
Which is why she has to remind you she wrote about it already, guys.
I love it. All right, let her go.
Appalled that neo-Nazis, fascists in America were lining up to essentially
under FDR
pledge their support for the kind of government that they were seeing in Germany.
Here,
I don't think we can ignore it.
Oh my gosh, these people.
Oh, that is
insufferable.
It's just agonizing.
So that was her warning for us.
Because it's occurring at the same place.
That's right.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Huh.
By the way, it was the 8-year anniversary of the greatest self-own in Twitter history over the weekend when Hillary Clinton wished herself a happy birthday 8 years ago, where she said, "Happy birthday to this future president."
Oh, my.
As you know, that did not come to fruition. So, anyway, happy birthday, Hillary Clinton. What is she now?
Is bizarre.
102.
102 years old, Hillary Clinton.
102.
Wow.
I think that's generous. I think she's like 115, 116, somewhere in there.
She's a female.
But that same stupid, the Nazis are getting together at Madison Square Garden again. Tim Walz was doing that this weekend. Other Kamala mouthpieces. I mean, these people are such garbage. That's my professional analysis.
And it's dead on. It's dead on. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets. Shannon Bowles tweets, those West Virginia coal miners are what you call real men. Yep. Occam's electric razor. It seems basic 4 is no longer basic and is way past 4. Conservatarians tweets. When we were young, we used to have to check bread for mold. Now, you can barely get bread to mold.
Do you remember the experiment we pulled in this? This drawer
oh my
here
gosh,
for
that's
months,
right. That's right.
And it wouldn't mold.
That's right. And we somehow have issues with gluten and celiac disease.
Right.
Red man in a blue state. Did the Muslim at the Kamala event have a pager?
Oh, too soon.
Is it?
He was a doctor, so
he might have.
Paging doctor.
Okay, but it didn't explode, so he's safe.
No,
he's a good guy. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Sure. So Kamala was in Houston on Friday. Kind of a surprise visit to Texas for Colin Allred, because that guy's whole campaign is about abortion, really. He's got all these nurses and women talking about how Ted Cruz is endangering women's lives because abortion? What?
You got it.
I don't.
You got there.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say,
right.
I think whatever pipe dream Kamala Harris has at winning Texas must be waning, because after getting a Kamala Harris commercial every break, or at least every other break for the last month and a half, I only saw one over the course of about 7-ish hours of commercial football.
Oh, really?
In other words, like when you watch Red Zone Channel, there's no commercials.
Yeah.
But when you watch the Falcons or the Huskers, and you're getting it through your internet provider, so the IP address is in Texas, you get Texas ads, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I only got one.
I was inundated with them in my
Were
viewing.
you?
Yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, though, so maybe it was that. Okay. I don't know. She was on
Interesting.
Every break.
Wow.
Every single break. Every time a commercial pops up, it was Colin Allred or Kamala Harris. It drives me out of my mind. Because Ted Cruz, I don't know if you're aware of this, he's endangering women through trying to prevent abortions. And so...
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And despite the fact that a lot of the women who would have been aborted
I know.
aren't going to be now.
Don't think about it.
Yeah,
Pat.
don't. No,
Stop.
right.
Stop. So you said that she was in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a lot of joy?
Oh, my gosh.
A lot of joy, right? With her and her supporters?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They didn't seem that joyful, though, about the presence of Trump supporters outside.
Oh, no.
And one of Kamala's supporters got right up into the face of a toddler.
This is so gross. What's this white chick coming towards us?
What is the deal?
I'm glad that...
Thank you for that woman to pull her away.
And she makes sure she gets out of there.
God,
Get out.
That's bizarre.
I don't give an F about your Donald Trump and your dad or whatever. I mean, just first of all...
Screaming in the face of the toddler. How weird is that?
I don't know why you're bringing
just
your
bad
toddler to a bunch of rabid Kamala Harris supporters in the first place. It doesn't excuse the behavior. And I was glad to see the black lady stand up there and be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
We don't need that here.
Yeah.
But there you go. There's your joy.
There it is. We've got another video of a Kamala supporter to show you in overtime. They're just as unhinged as she is. By the way, if you'd like to check out overtime like every day, and you're not a subscriber yet to the Blaze, go to blazetv.com. Take care of that. blazetv.com, promo code PAT40 will get you $40 off your subscription. $40. I believe that's tied for our largest offer ever.
Yeah, that's that one. That's the one.
Yeah.
PAT40.
PAT40. They get $40 off your subscription right now. So inside the Kamala Harris rally in Houston, Beyonce was apparently on stage for a total of about 3 minutes.
What was the verbiage they used to convince people that she was going to perform? Chris, do you know?
We have the headline right there.
Oh. Let's see.
Watch live. Beyonce returns to hometown of Houston to perform.
They used the word perform.
That's the only reason people got that idea. Was that they were told she was going to perform.
If you tell me that Queen Bee is going to perform in my hometown, I'm going. But then,
are you?
The updated version says Beyonce endorses, but doesn't sing at Kamala Harris rally with friends and family.
That is. I had no idea it was that blatant.
Yes, it was that blatant. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed that. That's at USA Today.
USA Today.
Mm-hmm.
So was her endorsement a performance? Is that what they're trying to say? Is that how they get away with it?
Sure.
So I don't know how true this is, but I saw the number 10 million was floating around to get Beyonce there. Have we verified
10 million?
I saw that. I don't know how.
Well, they paid that to Lizzo.
No, they paid Lizzo 2.3 million. It was reported, and I haven't confirmed.
Yes.
Oh, I hadn't heard that yet.
Yes.
They paid her to be there.
Lizzo.
$2.3 million. That is. Are you kidding me?
That's what's being reported, but I haven't confirmed that myself.
Wow.
So I haven't seen the contract.
So if they're paying Lizzo, they're definitely paying Queen Bee.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding?
Yes, she's not getting out.
So she was in and she was out in 3 minutes yesterday, or
Yes.
Friday night. Beyonce was.
Holy cow! And people didn't like it.
Apparently not.
They were a little pissed because when Kamala came back to the stage,
she's getting booed.
So they start chanting Kamala to drown out the boos.
Oh my goodness! How embarrassing! Showing the way, and she's talking about. She's pointing out that the people are filing out of there. Right? I mean, because I know that people were filing out of this arena while she was speaking when they realized they had been duped. Because that's what Democrats do. Bait and switch everything.
Well, and they told them it was going to be a performance. Right. So, of course, people came to see Beyonce perform.
I mean,
and now they can't be pissed about it.
You got booed at your own freaking rally.
Unreal.
After possibly paying $10 million to Beyonce. Anyway,
that's a pretty good paycheck for 3 minutes worth of work if that's really what they paid her. And why not? They've got all kinds. They've got over $1 billion to spend. Supposedly,
I mean, it just went on and on.
They will not get distracted. Okay.
Listen to this.
Wow.
I'm sure she's saying stuff, words, blah, blah, blah. But all I'm hearing is, boo, you suck.
Thanks for duping us into showing up at this crappy rally. Wow.
Awkward.
Yeah, very. That's
This
else.
campaign is just imploding.
Sure feels like it. Looks like it. Seems like it. Let's hope it really is imploding. We'll find out next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. In Kalamazoo, Michigan, she was heckled again at her own rally.
We are fighting for America's future, and we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page.
Pause it for a sec. Is he screaming no more war?
No more something wars, yeah.
No more stinking wars? No more fun wars?
Fun war. No more fun
No more fun wars.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let her finish. This is
The fear.
Did she say no more fear?
I don't know. Who cares?
Wait, roll that back. Go back about 10 seconds.
Fear.
In fact, just start it over.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get to this point.
And we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear.
Turn the page on the fear. Are you serious? Pause it for a sec. How do you make that statement with a straight face when all you're doing is fear-mongering about Donald Trump? He's going to end democracy. He's a Nazi. He's exactly like Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
All of this fear-mongering. The world will end if Donald Trump is elected. And you're going to turn the page on fear? Wow. Unreal.
Right?
You check the two campaigns and see which really is the campaign of joy and hope, and which is the campaign of fear-mongering. That's all Democrats are doing is fear-mongering right now. That's the only thing they have, is to try to scare you to death out of voting for Donald Trump, because she's got no track record at all. She stole this nomination.
Oh, yeah.
She has, she's linked to the Joe Biden administration, which everybody knows destroyed our economy, elongated wars, is responsible for doing nothing as wars sprouted up all over the place when they could have perhaps been prevented had Donald Trump been in office. And so all they have is fear-mongering. That's all she has. But she wants to turn the page on it. Okay. Let's see if we can get through this. Ugh.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
I don't know.
My gosh, she's hideous. I can't stand to look at her. I can't take it. Wow.
She's losing weight. She is. The stress is getting to her.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. And of course, it's always the same scripted stuff.
Should never again stand behind
Never again.
the
Do it.
seal of the President of the United
Never again.
States.
Never again. Never again.
Never again.
Yeah,
Never
give us the
again.
line. Do the
Never.
line. Never again.
Yeah, do it again.
She thinks,
Yes.
does she really think she's onto something here with this?
Yes, she is.
We showed you the screaming, yelling montage last week.
I mean, I can't handle all the joy that we're getting from her.
Right.
Transforming into Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I am sick and tired. What difference does it make?
She is. She's becoming Hillary, which is pretty awful.
Which is going to be awesome. The comparison a week from now. Name the two individuals who both lost to Donald Trump in a presidential race. And hopefully your trivia question answer is Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris.
Hopefully. Yes.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Lock that in.
Please let that be. Wow. Did you see the Holocaust denier who is denouncing Harris because she's calling him Hitler and a fascist and all of that stuff? And he's a 94-year-old Holocaust survivor who says Adolf Hitler invaded Poland when I was 9 years old. He murdered my parents and most of my family. I know more about Hitler than Kamala will ever know in 1,000 lifetimes, he said as he rolled up his shirt sleeve to reveal his Auschwitz prisoner number.
Powerful.
Super powerful. For her to accuse President Trump of being like Hitler is the worst thing I've ever heard in my 75 years living in the United States. He said, Harris owes my parents and everybody else who was murdered by Hitler an apology for repeating this lie. It's good stuff. And it's so true. And it used to be unacceptable.
Yeah.
Even for Democrats to say this kind of stuff. But now it's perfectly fine. And apparently it's their preferred rhetoric because it's all they're saying now. All right. We've been talking a lot about abortion this morning because that's definitely on the menu for the election. There's a way that you can help save babies. And it's so important. It is maybe the most important issue, saving lives. And that's what Preborn does. That's why we're so proud to partner with Preborn. They're the nation's leader in introducing mothers with unplanned pregnancies to their babies. Once she hears the heartbeat and sees that precious baby inside her, she's twice as likely to choose life. Over 64 million lives have been taken from abortion in this country since Roe v. Wade. Just since Roe v. Wade in 1973. Millions more hang in the balance. So we have the chance to change that. And we have to start with Americans' hearts and minds. And that's what Preborn is all about. When a woman considering abortion seeks to end her baby's life, Preborn is there. The power of the ultrasound compared with God's love, coupled with God's love, doubles a baby's chances at life. And it costs only $28 to show the woman an ultrasound for free. $28 is all it takes in a donation. If you can afford that, that'd be great. If it's $1, that will help. 5 abortions that are avoided would be $140. To donate securely, just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed. Sarcasm with 0 calories. Returns next.
Hey, welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Kamala had Joe Biden on the campaign trail for her this weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
Was she able to catch lightning in a bottle with the old man?
Oh, you kidding me? Okay. He was so powerful, so good. He whispered.
Keep forgetting I'm president.
Oh, he whispered
for
us.
Keeps forgetting he's president, but he did whisper. He didn't forget to do that.
Finally getting to the point where women are beginning to have a shot. A fair shot.
A fair shot.
A fair shot.
A fair shot.
Like I said, they can do anything any man can do. Including being president of the United States.
Oh, wow.
Including,
wow, what a great point.
Including destroying a nation just like me.
Right, including being Marxist idiots.
Oh, my gosh.
Not a joke.
That's not. Then he screamed.
Okay. Remember when we got elected, we were told there's going to be a recession? No one's talking about recession on our watch.
No, we're talking about inflation instead.
So, folks,
we're talking about.
I'm trying to be good.
What is happening?
Yeah, okay.
No one's talking about recession on our watch.
No.
We are. We're just changing the definitions now.
And there was more from Joe.
We got a lot more work to do, Kamala does. A lot more work to do.
Kamala.
Oh, he thought he was running for president again for a second.
Chameleon. That was weird. Yeah, because they got a lot more work to do. What, in the next 2 months?
We got a lot more work to do, Kamala does. A lot more work to do.
Kamala does.
Oh, my goodness.
He forgot.
He thought he
forgot he wasn't going to be there the next 4 years. Oh, wow. He can't get used to this.
No.
But he had a little bit more.
And I know who was standing next to me the last 4 years.
What?
You do?
Kamala Harris.
Wait, what?
Let me tell you something, folks.
Tell me something. Tell me.
I picked her because she has a backbone like a ramrod. I'm serious.
Okay.
She has a backbone like a ramrod.
No, he's serious. He's not kidding about the backbone like a ramrod.
I'm sure she loves it every time that he reminds people that she's just as guilty of the destruction of this nation as he is.
They don't want him out there.
And, of course, the hip ramrod reference is always with him.
They keep telling him, he's asking, hey, where can I go and campaign for you? And they're like, we'll get back to you. We're going to get back to you on that. Let's talk about that. We're going to have a meeting on that, and then we'll get right back to you.
Wonder where he was for that. Because remember, they sent him up to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And
that critical swing state of New Hampshire. Oh. Yeah, that's where he's needed. Notice he's not in Pennsylvania. He's not in Georgia. He's not in Wisconsin or Michigan. He's in New Hampshire. Okay. Gwen Walz was going to travel to Green Bay, Wisconsin for a rally, but instead she called from the airport. So this was a riveting event.
Literally had to phone it in.
I was so looking forward to meeting you, but I am here instead, and I hope to be able to meet you along the way, and I thank you all for coming.
Walz was supposed to make a stop in Green Bay to encourage early voting and speak about protecting women's reproductive rights, among other issues. Instead, Walz says flight issues kept her grounded in Minneapolis.
We are right there with you.
Darn flight issues.
Still on the Delta.
It was really disappointing.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I bet. Yeah, because, man, who would you... Is there anybody you'd rather see than Gwen Walz?
Well,
maybe, Mr. Tampon Tim, you might want to see him a little bit more, but maybe not even that. By the way, New York City Mayor Eric Adams was asked about the Madison Square Garden event and about people in his party referring to Trump as Hitler and a dictator. Here's how he responded to that.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. I wondered if I could ask you about any communications you've been having with the Trump campaign about this rally or otherwise, and if you believe, as others have said, that the former president is a fascist.
I have been, I had those terms hurled at me by some political leaders in the city, using terms like Hitler and fascist. My answer is no. I know what Hitler has done, and I know what a fascist regime looks like.
Right.
I think, as I've called over and over again, that the level of conversation, I think we could all dial down the temperature And I've heard people say that the former president should not be able to have a rally in Madison Square Garden. I strongly disagree. This is America. This is New York. And I think it's important that we allow individuals to exercise their right to get their message clear to New Yorkers. And our job as a city and as a police department is to make sure they can do that in a peaceful way. I think that we must be extremely cautious. The heat we turn up today, pre-election, is going to have to be the heat we're going to have to govern it. And I think we need to show a level of respectable communication. And so when people called me fascist and other terminologies, I didn't like it. And I don't think it's fitting to anyone to state that the former president is equal to being Hitler. I just think that this is a city where we have the largest Jewish population. Anti-Semitism is on a rise nationally. We need to do everything we can to push back on that level of anti-Semitic tone and anti-Semitic issues that we're facing in the city. Let's have a safe, fair, democratic process and show the globe how we're able to do it correctly.
How about that? It's a Democrat.
And
speaking some common sense there a little bit for 2 minutes.
Mayor Adams, the Department of Justice is on the line. Would you like me to send this call into your office, sir? Because, I mean, that's just that's what the Biden administration, they have made his life a living hell.
Yes, they have.
Since he has gone against them. So I'm sure the heat on him will just turn up. By the way, we were asking, where would the Kamala Harris campaign allow Joe Biden to campaign, and didn't even pay attention to behind
is there
Biden
something
on the
behind
screen
him?
there.
Okay.
If you'll see there, Pennsylvania, obviously. I cannot believe.
No, was he really in Pennsylvania?
I mean, it's got to be like, what, some little hamlet?
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere up in the mountains.
All right, so he was in Pennsylvania.
Look at the look on his face, too.
He's scared.
That is one terrified dude.
He was surprised he's in Pennsylvania. All right. We're going to take you inside that rally, that Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden, coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
You seen the video of the Madison Square Garden rally? That place was packed, filled. I don't know what does it seat? 20,000?
Yeah, right at just below that. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
So let's play the clip 22 then. Let's look inside it then.
Yeah,
shall we?
Let's take a look.
Look at that. Oh, okay. So that's just there we go. Look at that.
Yeah,
look.
That is filled to the. I mean, because all the seats are taken, and then they filled the floor. So that must be more than 20,000 people.
So the
It's gotta be
official numbers,
25,000?
the official numbers inside 19,500, so 19,500.
Okay.
Outside 75,000.
Wow, really?
The NYPD released those numbers last night.
Oh my gosh.
75,000 outside, 19,500
So
inside.
he could have done a week of these and had different people in the seats every night.
He could have had a full weekend rally.
Like Billy Joel fills that place every time.
Yes.
That's amazing. Jeez. Wow. And it's a Nazi rally because in 1939, Nazis held a rally at Madison Square Garden.
So what I just heard you say is Billy Joel is a Nazi. That's what I heard.
Yeah, about once a month for 5 years or something.
I mean,
right?
that is the stupid criteria that
So
they're
ridiculous.
using.
Yes.
Well, if you go to Madison Square Garden
Look
and a
at
big
that.
crowd shows up, you must be a Nazi.
Look at that.
There's your Nazi rally from 1938, I believe.
And that's under the FDR administration where we were virtually socialists at that time.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, right. So,
what else we got here?
I mean, he really made socialism popular. That's why so many people showed up in 1939 for that.
And that's why there were so many communist sympathizers in our government.
Exactly.
During the Cold War.
Yeah.
Thank you, FDR.
Exactly right. Pretty amazing. So, some of the speakers, they had Hulk Hogan there.
Oh, let's see.
Here's what the Hulkster had to say.
Is there audio?
He looks the same as he did back in the 80s, doesn't he? It's amazing.
He thinks he's in the ring right now. I love it. Look at his
Oh,
now
man.
that's awesome.
Well, let me tell you something, Trumpomaniacs. Welcome to the house that Hulkamania built. You know something? Usually when I'm in Madison Square Garden, I'm body slamming giants. I'm winning world heavyweight titles, and I'm cracking people over the heads with steel chairs. And the energy in Madison Square Garden is off the Richter scale. But today, Trumpomaniacs, the energy in here is something like I've never felt. The energy of all these Trumpomaniacs is the most powerful force in the universe. And today, this is Donald Trump's house, brother.
Brother. I mean, the energy was just hour after hour after hour in there.
You know something, Trump maniacs? I don't see no stinking Nazis in here. I don't see no stinking domestic terrorists in here. The only thing I see in here are a bunch of hard-working men and women that are real Americans, brother.
Chris, how long was this event? Because obviously I'm watching football all day yesterday, but I'm constantly keeping tabs on this rally, and every time I go in there, it is high energy.
I want to say like at least 6 hours.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
I was about to guess about 5.
Because people were lining up the night before.
Oh, yeah. 24 hours ahead.
24 hours ahead. People were just putting the little lawn chair.
Do we have the crowd?
Waiting. Yeah. That's clip 41. That's for the crowd. Look at that. That's the crowd that's been just standing / sitting there waiting to go in.
And that's Sunday morning.
24 hours.
But yeah, they lined up 24 hours ahead of that, and it's just phenomenal.
So at least it wasn't hot. Like,
no,
they weren't lining up in Dallas when it was 85 or 90 degrees.
And last time I checked, I don't know about you guys, but I saw no headlines of issues with Trump supporters, fights, or nothing like that.
So see if I forget anybody here, because it was the Trump Avengers and everybody there. We had J.D. Vance, we had Tulsi Gabbard, we had Robert Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Dr. Phil I saw when I flipped over, Melania was there, Hulk Hogan obviously, and of course the headliner Lee Greenwood. Is there anybody else that I'm forgetting? Because I mean it was just a who's who on this campaign, all showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
They had that comedian, though, that does roasts normally. And so he was roasting people.
Did he bring up Chris Cruz's home country?
He did.
Oh, no.
Yes, he did.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
Puerto Rico.
How do you like that one, Chris?
You like that?
Freaking hilarious. Of course we're trash. Are you kidding me right now? The corruption that is happening.
Did you see, though, that the audience didn't appreciate
the audience
that?
didn't appreciated it.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, as Puerto Ricans were leaving, they were like, it was a bad joke. He bombed.
Yeah.
She said it.
He did.
No.
Well, because he did that, and he did several other Latino jokes, black jokes, and
stop having babies,
not
which
good.
is not true.
Not good.
No.
And you just don't need that at a rally that was being referred to as a Nazi rally to begin with, and then you have this guy.
Did somebody
that's not helpful.
not encourage him?
Yeah,
hey,
that's not helpful.
Under a microscope here, so I know that this
Could
is
you maybe not?
This is your thing.
Yeah, that's your thing.
But let's not make headlines today.
So why did you? You knew that's his thing, so maybe you don't invite him. maybe that would have been a good idea, not to include him in this particular event.
Look, not everybody could hit a home run up there.
Right. Not like Lee Greenwood. Lee hit a home run. Check this out.
Yeah. Oh, that's Melania. So she introduces Lee Greenwood? Okay. And then he walks out triumphantly.
Oh, wow. So the music leads me to believe that he's about to launch into God Bless the USA.
Sure?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How long is this clip?
Like 30 minutes.
7 hour long.
Okay. Joe, can you just go to the last minute? I don't know if I can sit through this again for the 40 millionth time.
Okay.
I mean, bless his heart. It's a great song. I don't
It's
know.
an anthem. It's an anthem.
It is.
Anthem.
It is. But here he is with Trump at the end.
He's still singing. See that?
Yeah.
You catch that? I got a great message this morning on Twitter from half-fast cook. Half-fast.
Get it?
Cook. Saying that, did you notice that Lee Greenwood was still singing and Trump went over and gave him a hug basically
Just
to make him stop?
Just make him stop. Yes, and that's exactly what happened.
It is the new normal. Every time Lee Greenwood performs, Trump has to go in there and be like, bro, chill.
And Trump's the only person in the arena who could get Lee to stop.
That is true.
Bless his heart. He loves to perform.
Yeah.
82, remember. Lee Greenwood is 82 years old.
Yeah.
He's a great American.
He's up there. That's awesome. All right, we're going to get to Trump's comments at that rally coming up. But first, let me tell you about the Jace case. How much time do you spend thinking about the worst case scenarios? If you're a person who's prepared for them, the answer might not be all that much. Example, what would you do if you or one of your children needed a certain medication but you couldn't get it? Maybe there's a supply chain interruption, and so there's a shortage. Your order's on back order, or a weather emergency. I've seen plenty of those lately, and you can't get to a pharmacy. There's something you can do to ensure that you and your loved ones have medication on hand when you need it. It's a solution that thousands of people have already discovered. It's called the Jace case, and it allows you to start stocking up on medication right now so that you're prepared in case of any eventuality. The Jace case is a personalized emergency kit that contains essential antibiotics and medications that treat the most common and deadly bacterial infections. 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use. Just fill out a simple form online and you'll have the medication you need in case you need it. There's add-on options too, EpiPens, ivermectin. Just go to jace.com. They have the list there. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout, and you'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at JASE, jace.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
So I'm sure that, MSNBC and CNN probably covered the rally with fairness and
they did.
No bias whatsoever.
Sure.
Let's see the MSNBC graphic that they used to cover the Trump Madison Square Garden event. Full screen 10, please. Could we get that on the full screen 10? Looks a little something like this with MSNBC's coverage of the rally. What's it say?
And there it is. Trump's MSG rally comes 85. Come on!
I swear they are pathetic.
Comes 85 years after pro-Nazi rally at famed arena. What in the hell? How does that have anything to do with anything?
It's pathetic.
Oh my gosh.
And then, of course, CNN had their take online.
Speakers at Trump rally make racist comments, hurl insults.
There you go. Okay.
All
right. So anyway, there you go. CNN and MSNBC covering.
Wow, that's so typical, though, and that's why you can't give them that ammunition at the rally.
I love how Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, said that Trump's Madison Square Garden rally is a white flag of surrender. She said he's coming back home, where he's comfortable, and it's really a white flag of surrender. What are you talking about?
New York City? That's where he's comfortable? Where he's down by 12 points, supposedly, according to the polls? And we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
about
He
that.
thinks he's going to win New York. That would be awesome.
Tucker
But-
Carlson was also there. I don't think I mentioned him.
Oh, you
and he
didn't
said
mention
that there's no way, after seeing this, that anyone's going to believe that Kamala Harris gets 85 million votes. No.
Oh, 100.
No, there's not.
And I know, Keith, you show your headlines. This is the headlines that I saw.
Okay.
I will start with that one.
Okay. New York Post. Trump takes stage to 20,000 roaring fans. New York City's Madison Square Garden for historic rally 9 days before election. Okay. That makes sense. Trump powerhouse. Powerhouse guests rock-packed MSG with historic rally.
It's historic because,
From
85
Fox.
years ago, you know what happened.
USA Today, right? Trump backers turn New York City into a sea of red MAGA hats for historic rally. From
Staten Island Live.
Staten Island
Staten
Live.
Island Live, yeah.
Staten Islanders join thousands at historical Trump New York City rally at Madison Square Garden.
I thought this morning's headline of the New York Post, I didn't send this in, but it was excellent. It said, MAGA Square Garden.
Yes. Oh, I think you have that, Joe. It's the New York Post cover.
Okay, let's see here. From this morning, when you're headed to work, walking through Manhattan, grabbing a New York Post, it says MAGA Square Garden.
All right, well, if you don't have it, just go ahead and... this is the Trump... Everybody's talking about Trump being a Nazi, right? This is his closing statements of the rally.
Okay.
Wait.
Nope, that's not it.
Oh, hold on. West Virginia, part 2.
We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down. And we will
Galaxy
never,
Quest.
ever, ever, ever surrender.
That's a good
Together
one.
we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win.
Please. Yes, please.
November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, New York. God bless you. God bless you all.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good stuff. I like the opening line from Galaxy Quest.
Yes, Sasha.
I didn't catch that. That's
Yeah, it's a
awesome.
Tim Allen line from Galaxy
Never
Quest.
give up, never surrender.
Yeah.
So obviously Trump had a lot going on this weekend, including that Madison Square Garden rally. Kamala Harris, did her own rallies, and I just thought this was the most ironic moment people were pointing out online yesterday at her rally. She had a whole bunch of doctors up there that were endorsing her, of course. Can we please play clip 34? So while these doctors are up there, and if you want to play it,
becoming ill.
we have a medical
and dying.
emergency out in the crowd. But luckily, we have a stage full of doctors.
Oh, okay, so they went right out there?
Sure, they went right out. Of course they did. They're doctors.
I think someone needs some medical assistance over here.
Yeah.
Aren't you a
There's
doctor?
Like
Aren't
2
you all
dozen of
doctors?
you on the stage. What can we... Somebody go and help, please. Anyway, I thought that was fun. I hope everybody's okay. But anyway, just the juxtaposition of the doctor standing there just looking out into the crowd.
Not knowing what to do.
Someone call a doctor. Oh, wait, I am one. Anyway, there you go. I thought that was fun.
Also, J.D. Vance was fun. J.D. Vance was confronted by Jake Tapper because Tapper is a Trump hater, and so he was going after Trump on certain things, and J.D. did a great job defending him.
Ask yourself a basic question about network integrity. You guys talked about the Russia hoax nonstop.
The FBI was investigating it. The FBI was investigating it, and so we recovered them.
And so you took the words of unnamed FBI agents and put them on your network as if they were the gospel truth. You did it again and again.
Yes.
A viewer of your network would have believed that
you,
Donald
JD.
Trump and Vladimir Putin conspired in 2016. No. That was totally and preposterously false.
No.
Well, that's
What you just said is false. We covered an FBI investigation. I don't know why you want to talk about the FBI investigation.
You covered it in a way that gave credence to anonymous sources' accusations. You did it yourself. Your network did it, Jake. But again, can we talk about the issues that Americans care most about?
I'm talking about things that Donald Trump has said.
Yes.
If you have an issue with whether or not he's talking about the economy enough, that's between you and your running mate. I'm talking about things he has said this week.
Every single rally that he does, he talks about how he wants to unleash American energy so we can lower the cost of groceries. He talks about the fact that housing has become unaffordable. He talks about the wide open border, Jake. Kamala Harris and her allies, you know, it's interesting. Kamala Harris and her media allies, and I would put CNN in this category. You guys,
They wouldn't.
You guys seem to care.
I'll tell you that. They wouldn't.
Well, they should watch your network more because you guys seem to care more about Donald Trump's past than the future of the American people. We're running this campaign on making the American dream.
I'm specifically asking about how Donald Trump is going to be president in the future should he win, and then we're being told
He's going to pursue economic policies that lower the cost of groceries and make life more affordable again. He talks about it every single day on the campaign trail, and so do I. What you're talking about is an anonymously sourced story, or one guy
Nothing anonymously sourced.
or who
Zero
one guy who was a disgruntled employee.
I told you
where
10
five other people pushed back against him and said that what he said was dishonest. So why don't we talk about the policy that's affecting American citizens and not what Donald Trump allegedly said, according to one guy who's pissed off because he got fired by Donald Trump?
Thank you. Nice.
He does that so well.
Yeah,
JD.
he does.
You know, he
Sure
just
does.
takes a scalpel and stays calm.
And dissects you.
Yeah.
Great.
A friend of mine retweeted that clip over the weekend, and she wrote, years ago on this very app, I pointed out that Jake Tapper's wife was an official at Planned Parenthood. This was in the early days of Twitter, so he saw my post and lost his crap. He is a partisan hack who masquerades as a journalist. He probably bought those hideous glasses with he and his wife's baby-killing blood money.
Guys seem to
I'll tell you that.
Wait, hold on. Look at these glasses. I want to see these glasses. Let's see. What do you think of these? Yeah, okay. Probably. Anyway, he sucks, Jake Tapper.
Sad. He's got a real blind spot where Trump is concerned.
Oh, definitely.
And he's trying to say that his audience didn't believe the Russian collusion story. Is that what he was trying to? 67% of Democrats believed the Russian collusion story. 67%, Jake, because you and your network hammered it. Ugh, such a liar. He's just sat there and denied what everybody knows is true. Meanwhile, Democrat Senator John Fetterman sat down for a chat with the New York Times, and he had a lot to say about Donald Trump.
26.
Cut 26, John Fetterman.
Except, if anything, Trump has become more capable to withstand whatever, whether it was the trials or the assassination or all of those things. But here he is.
Here he is.
There it is. He's actually defending Trump, though.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. We got.
Does he do more of that?
Yeah. Let's see.
Cut 27. Check this
He
out.
is running almost at a tie in your state. You've said that Trump has a special connection with the people of
100%.
Pennsylvania.
100%.
Why? What is it that you see that he appeals to in your state?
There's a difference between not understanding, but also acknowledging that it exists. And anybody spends time driving around and you can see the intensity. It's astonishing. I was doing an event in Indiana County, very, very red, and there was a superstore of Trump stuff, and it was 100 feet long, and it was dozens of T-shirts and hats and bumper stickers and all kinds. I mean, it's like, where does this all come from? I mean, it was almost like Taylor Swift kind of swag. It's like of everything. It wasn't just a sign. It's the kinds of thing that has taken on its own life on that. And it's like something very special exists there. And that doesn't mean that I admire it. It's just like, it's real.
John Fetterman is an honest Democrat.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't
Yeah.
He's put up a white flag coming to New
I
York
don't
City.
think he has the BS meter anymore in his head that allows him to sit there and lie about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that safe to say that he maybe after his stroke, he's immune to the Democrat lie BS?
Factory reset. Saying that. Factory reset.
I mean, I wouldn't vote for him, but he does speak some sense, some common sense now. It's amazing. I mean, he just called it like he sees it in Pennsylvania. Sorry if you don't like that, but that's what he's doing. Will this cost him the election next time? I don't know.
No.
Probably not. I mean, he had a stroke and he could barely speak, and it didn't cost him the election.
Exactly. My point. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't think we have time here, but in overtime, we'll play another clip of John Fetterman sitting down with the New York Times. And he talks about when he knew in 2016 that Trump was going to become the president. It's a pretty fun clip because, like you said, John Fetterman doesn't have that BS meter like other Democrats.
That's amazing. That's really something. I mean, this is a guy that we couldn't stand a few years ago.
I know.
And certainly didn't want him in office.
Uh-huh.
And now, and I don't think he needs does he still use the helper there? It didn't look like it. The iPad
thing. I haven't seen it in a minute. I haven't seen it in a minute.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. All right. Have a great day. Overtime coming up. I'm going to be filling in for Glenn today. So is Hillary coming in?
Yeah, Hillary's coming in here to go through these clips with us.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.